You're allowed to participate as much as you desire. And same with the rest of your life after this. Whatever that fits and works and makes you feel great, great. Whatever doesn't feel great, what doesn't fit, what doesn't work, feel free to release it and let it go, because you're the authority in your life and you know what works for you right now.
Perfect. I love it.
Yay. I'm keeping track of time on this side.
Okay.
And I'll give us a warning when we're almost done. And then over here, I sometimes take notes. In a moment, you can ask me whatever questions, if you want to share what questions you have for today. But do you have any questions about how this will go in general?
No, pretty straightforward. I'm excited.
Okay, cool. Great. Do you have any issues or questions that you want to share right now to begin?
I think the biggest question I have is I've had about 15 years of chronic illness and I'm getting back on my feet. And so I'm curious, I went back to school and I'm starting a naturopath business. And so I'm trying to find just a little bit of direction there.
Yes.
I think, I'm all of a sudden like in my 30s and I've lost a lot of my teens and 20s to chronic illness. And so I just feel like I'm all of a sudden waking up and living my life, and it's a lot. So
yes. And tell me a little bit more. When you say it's a lot, does it feel like, whoa, life has so much going on? Or you feel I got to get every moment because I lost those years?
I've got to get every moment because I've lost those years. I want to do it all. But I know I have to also be careful of like how much I push. And it's like, yeah, it's almost like I'm like waking up from a coma and like, oh my gosh, I need to like go and do. And it's just, yeah, it's just, I'm just a little bit like lost because I'm in my 30s now and it's just a lot.
Right. And I want to say right off, I'm glad you weren't in your 70s when it all got resolved and you woke up out of the coma and you're like, okay, I got 10 or 15 years, maybe.
Yeah, so true.
So, and some people, that happens at the very end of their life. They're like, oh, I want to, drink from the well of life, or I don't remember the phrase, but so what a gift that you do have that now. So I just wanted to reflect that back to you.
You're so right. You're so right.
All right. And so I'm going to go ahead and start getting us quiet, getting us present a little bit more. You're welcome to keep your eyes closed or open. If you want to dance, you can dance. If you want to sing out, you can sing out. Do you know the movie Harold and Maude? Have you ever seen that?
I haven't.
I think you would really like it.
Okay, I gotta look this up.
Yes, I won't go into it a lot here. It's a delightful movie. That song, Cat Stevens sings that song in the movie. He's not in the movie, but a lot of his music is. And it's a little bit of what we're talking about already, of this joie de vivre, like love of life. And I want to experience all the things. Oh yeah, I'm getting the tinglies all over. Whoo. So it's from the 70s. And I think you will find some enjoyable things of it. All right. So back to our normal programming. All right. Taking a deep breath in through your nose, feeling it going all the way down to your delightful, and I feel the need to say dainty toes. And you can wiggle your toes if you want to. Okay. I'm going to have to pause here for a moment. I don't know if you typically wear toe rings or paint your toenails or wear pretty shoes, but I'm also getting this feeling of definitely starting at your feet. And I imagine it's going to go beyond that too, of just having this delight so that anytime you catch a glimpse of your toes or your feet during the day, it gives you a little tickle of delight of, oh, look at how sweet they look with that toe ring. Look at how that nail polish makes my toes look good, or how this strappy shoe defines my ankles. I'm getting this. One of the ways that you can help bring this go energy into a way that doesn't override your nervous system and that doesn't feel too exhausting or doesn't feel like it's rushing you, is to have moments of delight in every day in things that could be mundane. So also, let's say you work from home, or some of the time you're working from home, and maybe you get really nice slippers, like things of that, of just that all throughout your home and the way that you adorn yourself. There are these little subtle things that bring your heart a lot of joy and that remind you of your health, because I think that's part of it. It's not just a physical beauty, it's you're exuding health, and that is beautiful as well. To also continue to I mean, one, imprint on your psyche how healthy you are and how much you've done to care for your body and how you're putting a new foot forward. Okay, that's probably also why this feet topic is coming up as well. I'm sure there'll probably be more reasons, but spirit really, or God, creator, divine, however you want to see it, really loves to give me images or visuals to share that can be applied in multiple areas of your life, and metaphorically or literally. So I was talking about literally the toe ring, the cute shoes, nail polish, if you like it, or maybe it's all natural, but they're just filed beautifully. But also there's this, you're putting your best foot forward now. You're stepping into something new, and you're stepping into it with confidence, with grace, with beauty, that's inner beauty and outer beauty. You're bringing health to the world in such a new and a beautiful way. And I'm not 100% sure, but I get the feeling of some of the clients who are going to come to you. How do I feel that they're women who of various ages, but who don't value their health right now. And they haven't per se had a chronic illness, but it's one of those, if they keep going down the path they're on, they're going to end up in a not great place health-wise. And also by the way that they think or see the world, they need to go to a doctor who they consider attractive, polished, put together, my kind of girl. Like that's the vibe I'm getting for some of your clientele, of this sense of they're actually coming for all your wealth of knowledge, but in their minds, they love coming to you because they see that you're one of them. You could be one of their friends or something like that. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to take a pause for a moment here so I can give you a chance to, if you want to share or reflect or ask questions about anything so far.
I love that. When you brought up the nervous system, I'm constantly trying to control my nervous system. It's like I get a little overwhelmed with like sounds and light, like when there's too much going on, just because my brain is still healing. And so I like that idea of like coming up with little things like just to bring joy and like kind of bring me back into my body and what I'm doing, instead of, because sometimes it gets a little like chaotic. Yes. When I like the planes overhead have been driving me crazy the last few days. I'm like, okay, like it's fine, just redirect your thoughts, but that's a good way to redirect.
Yes, and I have a few more things too now as you're talking. I guess you're in a path of a lot of planes that go by. Mm-hmm. Is it possible without too much work to move to another part of town, another neighborhood where they're not crossing you so much?
I just moved into this house. We just bought it.
You did?
So I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to turn on some like fountains or something.
Right. Yeah. Yes. Okay, good. And do you think this will be your forever home? I mean, I know you just moved in, so you're hoping so.
I hope so.
Okay, well, let's ask the angels and everyone else. Can you just scoot the planes over just a few houses too? Yeah. They can still be on their track, but let's
just a little over.
Yeah. Are you in California? Did you already tell me?
Arizona.
Oh, okay. Because I was thinking of Not that I'm gonna wish an earthquake on anyone, but I'm like, get a little shift of the tectonic
little
plates.
wind
Yeah.
change. Yeah.
Also, based on what you're saying, I know a lot of people who either I know some personally, but online, they talk about these extended beauty rituals of the rollers and the lotion and the this and the that. And when you were talking about tuning into your nervous system, and I was thinking also massaging a nice lotion into your feet,
Okay.
because feet are very grounding as well. And you have to be, you can't be walking while you're tending to your feet.
Exactly.
So yeah, so by default you have to stop. And okay, yes, I'm getting a little bit more now. Okay, this attention to the feet, you can take this. I'm here to give you ideas. Take it and interpret it in whatever way feels beautiful to you. There could be a morning, noon, and night special thing you do for your feet. Maybe in the morning, you pick out your beautiful shoes, you pick out what toe ring you're wearing today, or if it's not weather for that, then lovely socks or tights or leggings or whatever that feel good on your feet. And then middle of the day, when you've done some of your activities, you take a pause for 1 to 2 minutes where you take your feet out of your shoes and you massage your feet, and you really, I see it as also a moment to have joy and gratitude for your body, and just remind yourself, I'm home, as in you're home in your body, you're healthy, you're safe. And then maybe in the evening is you're rubbing some lotion into your feet. Thank you for helping me go at the best speed that worked for my body and for my heart's desires. And I think it's also, I'm a type of person who, I used to feel that I was like a racehorse who somebody put me in the stable and they wouldn't let me race. And I have all this power in this energy and I'm stuck in a little room. And I was like, but this is my nature. I need to get out. I need to express. I need to do this. And a little bit of the go, go, go feels that to me of, it's almost like, it's almost pushing out of you to such a degree. It's not that you're having to motivate yourself. It literally just wants to move through you. And I love that. And I also think people like yourself and I really benefit from grounding practices that keep us in our bodies, that a little bit get us out from all this energy that's just like, yeah, out, to have some that settles in, to picture this rooting into the earth. Because if we let the go energy rule us, we'll be that tired out horse in a couple years that can't run the races anymore.
Yeah, I connect with that horse analogy so well. I've used that one myself, and it's,
oh wow,
I definitely need to find that more grounding practices.
Yeah, and if you may have a few people around you who might help you think of nice things too. I don't know if with your new house, if there's a courtyard area and a bench where you could go, okay, good, go sit outside, have some tea, look at the cacti or whatever landscaping you have in your yard. And maybe you even have an area that's little pebbles that are rounded that feel good to walk on for a moment or two. So your backyard or front yard or whatever it is might also be another way to nurture this.
I have the perfect backyard for it. So it's, yeah, that's great.
I'm so excited. I love that. Well, no wonder you got this great house for yourself.
Yeah.
All right, let me see. I'm going to close my eyes.
Okay.
If you have a question or something that this has brought up that you want to ask, you can, or I'll just keep on going and see what else comes up.
Yeah, keep going.
Okay. I don't always know what the names that come to me mean. So it may mean nothing. And if it does, that's fine. Oh, but I'm getting a Stefan or a Steven or something of that kind of Steph beginning. Is there anyone in your life who's special who has a name like that?
No, my husband's name is Trent.
Okay.
It's a little bit close.
Yeah.
Kevin, is that?
I don't know. I'll wait and see. It's funny too, because I, my husband, his name is Ed, but I told him his soul name is David because it's come to me a few times and I'm like, it fits, and Ed is in or David, kind of. So sometimes I wonder, is this like a soul
A
name?
soul name.
That maybe isn't the human name type of thing. Because it does feel like a partner energy. So, all right, I'll see. Okay, what I'm gonna look back into. Hmm. hmm. Okay. So, in looking back at your business building again, what I'm seeing is back to this horse analogy. Also, it's really going to benefit to be the horse with the blinders on, to be when you're working on the work of the business, to have the blinders on, to not get distracted by how other people do things or other people make it happen. I'm also again getting this. It's okay that you will have male clients, but I really get strongly focusing on the women and I know that's a broad target market, but I gave a little bit before about a little bit more about this type of woman. I really definitely feel that they are the people who are going to get the most value from what you have and are also going to help to build it. They'll tell their friends. I don't know if at some point, if you are going to have a practice that's actual location, but you, you may want to consider having events, and even if you don't have your own dedicated practice where you can do them, another venue where you could host events. And I'm seeing that the events could have different types of topics. You could do one that's about chronic illness and healing from that, or you could do one about what does it mean to be a healthy professional who doesn't have burnout. Also, I know there's a lot of women who they want to age well, and I know that naturopathic medicine and your approach to it probably has a foundation that will help them to do the things that will keep their body working well. So that could be another type of event or presentation or a talk. If you are feeling the stresses of the world and they're weighing you down, this book, Talk to the Trees, will allow you to have the calm seep into your life and infuse your day so that you feel that grounded sense that you feel when you're out in the forest or looking at the trees or on a long vacation when you feel so restored. They can lend their wisdom to you so that you feel more able to make better decisions. So give yourself the time today to spend some time in nature, to talk to the trees in whatever way that you do it. And pick up a copy of the book if you haven't already. It's a great gift for a nature lover in your life or someone who is going through a time in which they could use that love, that care package to make their days a little bit brighter. This is the perfect gift to give them to brighten every day. Let's see what else comes through. I like what you said before about the fountains. I'm also getting the tinkling of laughter, like how when there are fountains. So this remembrance of if you've gotten to early afternoon on a work day and you haven't laughed yet, you got to take a laugh break, something that makes you feel good, because a little bit like you said before, you want to have all these life experiences, and even though I know that you feel passionate about your work, joy and laughter needs to be a part of every day.
Yeah.
So yes, a laugh break to just, oh yeah, I'm alive, and who knows what, I'm watching a 2-minute fun cat video or whatever that makes me laugh while I'm massaging my feet and taking a break. Or maybe those are two different breaks that you take.
I love that. I think I can be really like serious, and it's so, and like before I got sick, I was really like quirky and goofy, and I'm like trying to reconnect to that again.
Good.
And so I like that laughter break of just adding that light and that lightness to me again.
Yes. And I get social feelings with it too. Do you have any friend currently who feels quirky, fun, bubbly, that
Yeah.
brings that out in you?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Do you get to see this person on a semi-regular basis?
Not as often just because after COVID and everything, but I think now I'll be able to start seeing her more. So that'll be
Oh, good,
perfect.
good,
Yeah.
good. Mm. And however many other people who have that wonderful quality, maybe we can set the intention that one or two or three, however many you feel you have the capacity to invite into your life, some more people come in who, if you need to text each other a 3 p.m. joke or meme or whatever to just feel good, or a silly face halfway through the day, to that there are people who want to gravitate towards you and have that type of connection. Okay, so I'm getting a sense of, I need to ask you, is there something that you would describe as a little bit of a ominous or overwhelming fear in moving forward with what you're going to do, that I want you to speak about that right now?
With work, I think I have a couple of ominous feelings. So
Okay.
my mom has stage 4 breast cancer.
Oh, wow.
And so I have this constant fear around that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also, when you like doing this naturopath thing, you really put yourself out there in a vulnerable
Oh.
position. And I'm also afraid to put myself out there and like be judged, or I don't know what the right word is, but it's just a very vulnerable feeling, like putting yourself out there to, when my intentions are to help and be good. But I feel like I moved from Oregon, and some of the community in Oregon and my friends and not my family, but my friends can be a little judgmental. And so I feel a little bit fearful to put myself out there in that way too.
I have definitely experienced that
Yeah.
as well with my work. Okay, so I'm going to sit with both of those. Is there one that you want me to speak to first?
And my mom.
Okay. Well, I'm not yet looking at, the outcome of this, but what I do get first off is her putting her arms around you in a hug, and in a way her saying, even though it's uncomfortable for you at a soul level, this was a choice she made, or this is the path that she was taking. And also this feeling of, she wants to be as courageous as you were with what you went through. And it's almost that you inspired her and you opened her eyes to a lot through doing that. And then what I'm saying, sometimes the things I say people are not conscious of, so I don't know if then any of this she would be conscious of, but your courageousness and what you've done and your ability to work through it and bounce back. I mean, I feel like bounce back is kind of like a mild way of saying what you truly did. That, yeah, it feels that at a very deep level, you're her role model as she's going through this process, and she thinks of you and your courage as she's navigating this for herself.
Yeah, I love that. And I can definitely see that.
Yeah. And the other thing that I get is the sense of, she knows that it might make you sad, but it's almost one of those, I gotta do what I gotta do. And I know my mom passed away a few years ago, and in the times that I connected with her after she passed, there was this feeling. She told me, she said, look, I didn't want to leave you at the time that I did, and yet this was my soul's path, and I felt bad that that was happening for you, but it's almost not that there's a hierarchy really, but she had to be true to herself, her soul. And that's what her soul's path was, even though the timing for me was terrible.
Yeah.
And I'm getting a little bit of that with your mom in terms of for whatever reason, I don't know, I'm not seeing like the reason that her soul is going through this, but, and I know, I don't always like saying the reason for something happening, because I know that can be very uncomfortable emotionally for people. But I do find that at some level, her soul knows what's happening and what she's going through. And she also feels a large amount of sadness that you are having to experience, the sadness of being with a parent going through this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see if I have other things. And the other thing, I don't know if this is what her arms around you is trying to show me, but I know that when loved ones pass on, they still come and give hugs and love and support to people. I'm not saying that I'm seeing her passing on soon,
Yeah.
but eventually one day it will happen.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. And so I know, to whatever degree she can, when that time is here, she's going to want to still shower you with love to the degree that she can. And it will change your relationship, because, the dead and the living don't have the same relationship you do when it's two living, but there can still be a relationship there that does have some back and forth and support and love and connection. So are you worried that also, that if you're too busy with work and business, that you won't be able to spend time with her? Is that a part of this as well?
It's not really. We started a little thing that we do together called Kissed by Cancer. And so I feel like that's a good way for us to spend time. So I think that no matter how busy I get, like, we're so close that I'll always have a connection there.
Yes, that's really good. I'm glad of that. Is it the worry, what if she can't beat it and this takes her? Is that what? Yeah. And do you feel, is it also a repetitive fear that's almost like it plays on loop constantly every time you think of her? Yeah. Okay, so I don't know if I'll be able to say the words to help, but here's what I can say: that the repetitive loop, I understand it, and it takes you out of the present moment of when she is still here. And so the exploration piece for you is, what is a way that we can transform this repetitive loop? And it might be a picture that you have, that every time you think, you start getting this negative repetitive loop that also gets your emotions worked up, because I know it charges up your nervous system in a negative way, and almost adrenaline is what I'm feeling. Yeah. So I'm picturing, and I don't know the picture exactly, but maybe you can come up with something that's you and your mom, perhaps, or your mom in a field of flowers, or something that feels really calm, really loving. Maybe you're both having tea in a beautiful flower field. Something that, when the repetitive thought comes up, you say to yourself in your mind, now I'm picturing my mother and I connecting over tea, or whatever it is that you like to do. Maybe y'all like tacos or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. So you and your mom connecting over tea. And maybe you squeeze her hand when you hand her a teacup or whatever it is, but pulling yourself into a moment of her and you having a good moment, and her being in the best health in that moment too.
Just redirecting. Well, it's funny because I have this picture of us at our favorite place.
Yeah.
And so now I'm like, okay, every time I look at this, I'm just gonna instead think like, oh no, what if I don't have that in the future, and go, okay, like, no, let's just imagine being there together.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. I like that a lot. And because and again, whatever time she goes, I'm not looking into that. I kind of feel like maybe you don't want me to look into that. Yeah.
No.
So, and the other reason I know that is typically if somebody, they don't even have to ask me. If they tell me their parent is sick, I immediately get how much time they have left. And for you, I'm not getting that, which,
awesome.
which is why I kind of sense that you didn't want me to say that. But one day there will be a grief process of her leaving, and everyone has a different way of handling their own grief process. So, but I know that the repetitive, some of us, I think, want to prepare ourselves for the grief before it's here.
Yeah.
With worrying and fear over what's going to happen. Yeah. The ways that you can relax. And maybe, let's say, does your mom live in Arizona or is she in Oregon?
She's in Oregon.
Okay. So maybe when you talk on the phone with her, you're lying down in bed, or you take your shoes off, or you elevate your feet, like every interaction that you have with her, if it can be a return for you, maybe not every interaction, but as many as possible, a time for you to relax and enjoy the moment. And maybe also Trent will have some ideas of, and you might even say, Trent, this is what I'm working on. In addition to that picture and some other things, what would you do if you were me? Like, how would you break through this repetitive negative loop? And he might have some good ideas. And, or maybe, maybe he gets one of those soaker water guns and teases you and is like, every time you get negative, you're getting soaked.
That's good.
Yeah. So a few ways of just breaking you out of that pattern, because whatever amount of time she has left, which no one knows, you want it to be the good side of it, not the what's happening, when are you leaving, what if I don't have this anymore, because that cuts us out of experiencing here and now and what is. And ironically, if you can stay in what is and stay in those moments, you almost multiply the moments, if you know what I mean. Like when people talk about time flies when you're having fun and all, like making the moments that might seem, well, that's exactly kind of maybe the opposite of what I'm saying. But I guess I'm saying this could be the next 2 years, let's say, could feel like the best years you've ever had with your mom, if you're really, really intentional about that enjoyment of each other's company and enjoyment of everything that you have together.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm following for sure.
Oh, good. Good. Okay, so, oh, let me check. Oh, we're almost out of time. So I'm going to look into this thing about being vulnerable, and then I'll give you some more time to reflect.
Okay.
I don't know all the ways that this could play out, but I'm getting that, what if for right now, for those who would be judgmental, if you don't give them the opportunity to see what you're doing or judging it, I'm getting this sense of you're the best kept secret. There's like a velvet rope, like somebody gets your card or they get 2 cards, and it's almost an exclusive club. And it's this thing. And, from a marketing point of view, let's just say you can buy ads that only target certain zip codes and things like that. So you don't have to do social media and promote it to everybody and whatever. Like, I get same with the horse with the blinders on. You can pick a very narrow focus, a very narrow lane, a very narrow group of women who you're going to connect with them. You're going to be the exclusive naturopath that works with them. And maybe these friends never know what you do really, or never know the degree to which you are working on your work. And maybe you have 12 to 18 clients who you're almost on a retainer for that. You might not have a full practice. Maybe you go really, really specific with massively helping a smaller group of people,
Mhm.
and that might feel more enjoyable for you. It might also be easier in that after the third or fourth person of this group, they're going to tell their friends, and before you know it, you're fully booked.
Exactly. No, I
Yeah.
like that. And it's funny because I've like went to school. I don't like to use the word secret because I feel like I'm high, but like secretively, I
Hmm.
haven't, shared with a lot of people what I've been doing. So I like that of just kind of almost being like a kept secret and working with people a little bit deeper because that's really who I am anyways. I'd rather have, a few friends than a lot of
Hmm.
friends. So I'd rather work with people deeper and get them really well than
Yes.
just a lot of people and kind of just make them a little bit better.
Right. I like that too for you. And I really do feel this whole velvet rope. And I'm not saying exclusivity in a negative way of like, I
Yeah.
only help these people, but I really do feel that those are the people who you can really deeply help. It can honor your nervous system, it'll transform their lives. And it it means you don't have to be the naturopath that everybody knows.
Exactly. Exactly. I like that better anyway. So
Yes,
yeah.
right, because some of these forms of getting ourselves out there are very draining to the nervous system.
Very.
Yeah. Before we go, how do you feel that this whole, if you had to assess this or evaluate it, are there things that you felt that you got out of our time together today that were helpful and or relevant and gave you more support or clarity? I'd love to hear your
Yes,
thoughts.
definitely. I think especially the last week, I just got back into town and I've been feeling really frazzled. And I am that person that likes little things like you were talking about, just like little toe rings or, like little like things that I look at that make me really happy. And since I'm new in my house, I don't have like the pictures on the wall that bring me
Mm.
joy yet. And so I think that one's going to be my weekend activity of bringing in
Mm.
things that like feel grounding and bring that light. And then I also like the fact of you almost gave me permission to take breaks
Mm.
to reconnect with myself and reground myself. And I'm like, oh, I can't do that because I've given, I've already lost enough years. I can't give
Right.
myself breaks, but it's like, no, you have to give yourself breaks or you're going to end up where you were before.
Right, right, right.
So almost like getting that permission to go, this is going to help you and taking a pause is okay.
Yes. And what is that analogy or expression? You're running a marathon, which to me sounds exhausting.
Yeah.
But if life is a marathon, you don't run the whole marathon in 1 year. You're going to run
Mhm.
this marathon over 50 years or
Mhm.
so. So you can pace yourself. And yes,
Yeah.
I love that it gave you permission to take breaks because that feels really good. And I also know that your clients that want to come in, if their life, oh yeah, this is giving me chills on my legs. So I know this is true. They might be the frazzled whoever, and you might be the one person in their circle who grounds them, who reminds them of who they are or what they need to be or how they can nourish themselves. And so it's also going to be that your presence of being,
Mhm.
if you're a naturopath who feels frazzled, those people
Yeah.
aren't going to get what they need from you.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I like that.
Yeah, and so even just I imagine whether you help them in their homes or they come to your office, it's going to be one of those as soon as you're in the room with them, maybe they start rubbing their feet and relaxing and saying, yeah, I need more things of joy in my room and all of that. Even your presence is going to support them and make them feel more fulfilled and healthy, and that inside out beauty we were talking about and
Yeah.
health. So I think that's also going to be and it's going to be one of those things. Some people recognize, oh, I just feel better when I'm around a certain person and I can't
Yeah.
explain what it is. There's going to be some of that quality that you bring to them because of your presence with yourself and your self-care. That's really, it's not superficial self-care. It's really quality self-care from the inside out.
Exactly. Yeah, I like that. That gives me a lot of things to think about. That's perfect.
Oh, wonderful. Well, anything else before we wrap it up that you want to share?
I just had one more question. As you can imagine, going through chronic illness, my husband and I have lived in different states where like he travels a lot for work. We are like two ships passing in a night.
Oh, yeah.
And I just wondered if you had any tips on how we've been together for 12 years now and just how to reconnect with each other and bring that joy back into our life.
Yes. Okay, I'm getting a few things. So this will have to be a little bit quick, but that's okay. Because I also feel it's almost, I'm going to give you the appetizer that inspires the meal, and you and him make the meal.
Perfect.
Plus, I don't want to get into your dirty business.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. One thing I'm getting is this passing in the night or passing ships, imagining that every time you pass, it's a high five or whatever.
Yeah.
Especially if someone's leaving. But, and it can be a kiss. It doesn't have to be a high five.
Yeah.
But that each passing interaction, you bring that impact and that connection. I also like the idea of a joy board. I'm picturing a dry erase board, but you can do it on paper. It could be a Google Drive document. I don't even care where or what it is. But on that board are either things you both want to do together that you're really excited about, or things that one of you is doing that you can't wait to tell the other one about. And if it's a dry erase board, those are probably in different colors. Like what you do together is one color, and each of you gets your own color. And this way of, one of the reasons I like it as something visual you can see is then you pass it when you're there and it reminds you, and it feels that it's this consistent way of, what do you call it? Like dipping back into the connection and bringing it forth into these various moments. I also get the impression that maybe in the future, like if your relationship has kind of been one way, that maybe this is, I don't want to say a second chapter, because it doesn't feel like it is one of those that was then and this is now, but it does feel it's a little bit of a new era. And so maybe there's new era, new rules, new era, new habits, or something of that nature. And I'm also getting this thing of, he comes home and you put on a hat, maybe it's his hat, or maybe you just bought a hat and you're doing silly things, or check out my new outfit. I don't know exactly what it is, but whatever are the things that feel really playful and joyful for you, making that the focus of your being together, because it almost feels that, how do I put this? I find that your time together, as much as possible, I know every couple has things that they have to do, like pay the bills and buy the groceries and blah, blah, blah. But I get that if you can focus in that the times that you are together, you're focused on the fun parts of being together, that's really going to, it's similar to the stuff with your mom. It's like, it's going to magnify it and enhance it so much more.
That's perfect. No,
yes.
I agree. Okay, perfect. I like the joy board.
Yeah, me too. And who knows, he might get that super soaker for you too.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I thought about that when you said that. I was like, oh, that's funny. We need that.
Yeah. Oh, well, I will send you this reading. We're getting ready to go out of town. So usually I get it within 24 hours, but I'm literally leaving after this call.
You go do what you need to do.
So you'll get it early next week.
Okay, perfect.
All right. And
thank you so much. This has been so helpful.
Oh, such a pleasure, Lauren. And I'm wishing you all the best. And feel free in the future, if you want to tell your exclusive clients about me, you can.
You're coming.
or your friends, or, you can come back to get another session for yourself. I'm wishing you all the best luck for you and Trent.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I'm wishing you success as well, because you have an amazing gift and the world needs to hear it.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Lauren.
I am a psychic who helps people in business who understands business. And what I can tell you is if there are 5 things or 6 things that you're considering doing in your business and you wish you knew which ones not to do, together we can tune in and eradicate 3 to 5 of those. So you only have 1 or 2 things to focus on. Imagine the massive amount of time and energy and wondering this could save you. If you could just commit to the thing because you know that this is what's totally aligned with you and your business right now and this time, that moves you forward. That gives you so much action to pour into your business. Now, there's a playlist. You can look at other sessions that clients have had, and you'll notice time and time again, they get 1 to 2 to 3 specific areas that are green lights for them to work on in their business. Things that they can really focus on that are definitely going to help them. Occasionally, they also get the clarity on don't do these other things. It's not going to work for you. It's not in your best interest right now. And how beautiful is it in this time and world of so many choices, so many options, to already have it narrowed down to these are things to focus on. These are things that are not going to work for you. And to have that extra bit of confidence, that stamp of approval saying, this also feels internally aligned. So not only are you thinking it, but this is what I'm reading from your energy field, from spirit, from the infinite field of possibilities that is maximally aligned for your potential. That's what makes life and business so much fun. So I am really looking forward to our first session together. May it be the first of many. Go ahead. There's the booking link below. See you soon.